Good morning, guys. Have you ever thought what it'd be like to travel backwards in time? Maybe meet up with a version of you in the past? What kind of power would that give you? What kind of mistakes would you be able to erase if you could go back in time? What priceless insight would you share with your previous self? If only I knew then what I know now. How many times have we said that, right? There would be a lot of power. And time travel seems like total science fiction. I get that. But we had a comment on our website at Journal-04 from a Darren Reed of Ozarks, Missouri, and he shared the story that we're about to share with you. It first came out online about 3 years ago, 2017, thereabouts. And it was based on some books that were published in 1893. And over 120 years later, the things that are put in that book seem to be becoming a reality. Not just one little thing. This author didn't just get one thing lucky. It's a whole string of events that seem to be coming to fruition. It's almost like somebody went back in time and leaked some amazing details with this author, which makes you wonder, how did it all happen?
Time travel is a very popular angle for books and movies, but today we're not talking about a book about time travel, but a book that might have been written by a time traveler. It's called The Last President, written by Ingersoll Lockwood in 1893. This fictional story, written over 125 years ago, is about a very wealthy man who ran for president. He wasn't expected to win, and yet he did. And in this book, this man lived in a hotel in New York City on Fifth Avenue. And in the book, when he won, there were big protests outside that hotel. And while there were still many that opposed this president, they said that he had the love and respect of the common man. One of his cabinet members in his administration was named Pence.
But the story of The Last President,
The book that was written 124 years ago.
it's interesting that Lockwood, who was a lawyer, who was also in government,
Well,
could he have been predicting it? Maybe.
as the book continues, disharmony brews to the point where the Speaker of the House says the president must resign. Ultimately, the Republic is destroyed. How did Lockwood get so many things right? Was he influenced by someone from the future? If you master time travel, you can make yourself rich, famous, powerful, and maybe even president. Does Donald Trump have a time machine? Does one even exist? Many believe that Nikola Tesla had a working theory on time travel. You know about Tesla's belief that time travel was possible.
Oh, he believed, because he thought that energy never dissipated, he believed you could view into the past.
Okay, and he also believed that you could move matter. And that's where the whole concept of teleportation came from.
Time travel experiments are going on today.
Nikola Tesla was one of the most brilliant men in history. He had plans for anti-gravity, teleportation, and an infamous death ray. And in 1943, when he died, representatives from the Office of Alien Property stormed his hotel room at the New Yorker Hotel and seized all of his property, including his documents and files. Why?
Once the government got the files, they assigned them to an electrical engineer from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He was tasked with evaluating the papers to determine whether or not they contained any ideas of significant value. This engineer's name was Dr. John G. Trump, Donald Trump's uncle. So one could make the case that if time travel does exist, Trump certainly could access it. But it might not be Donald doing the traveling. There's another book written by Lockwood in the late 1890s. In this book, it's not about a president, it's about a young magician who looks up to a powerful figure, and that person's name is Don. He lives in a place called Trump Castle. How did this Victorian author, Lockwood, get so many things right? It goes far beyond just getting lucky or coincidence. He probably had somebody visit him from the future, sit on his desk, and give him random facts that were so accurate about what was going to happen 100 years in the future. And if you look at this second book, you'll see that that little magician's name was Baron Trump.
Well, what do you think? Is your mind blown? I mean, did this author just get lucky? Or could there be something more to it? Well, we're going to keep the conversation going because maybe you don't have to travel back in time to get answers. Maybe the answers are within us. And next week, we're going to be discussing this with a couple of experts on the field of past life regression. And then the following week, Juliana Fay has been researching Project Pegasus. And that's where the government was conducting experiments in teleportation and time travel with young children. We'll see you next week.
My mind is blown.
Can I just say, I love Sean Paul and Julian, I trust them. However, why have we never heard of this book before then? You know what I'm saying? Because this has so many similarities.
Yeah.
Why ain't nobody talking about this book and been going, what?
Because it wasn't pertinent until now.
Well, it's pertinent 4 years ago.
Well, I know. That's true. And then as far as the Pence thing, asking him to step down, is that to come? Because that hasn't happened yet.
Ooh, I don't know. I just have so many conspiracy theories going on in my brain right now.
This kind of thing just really intrigues me. Intrigue Journal. Yeah, absolutely, it does.
It's just, I don't know. I need to see a copy of this book. I want to see the book and
Yeah.
the follow-up to see what I take out of it, because I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying I need to see it in full context versus just taking these bits.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I want to see the book too. Well, let's have him bring it in when he can.
Sean Paul
come
and
see it.
Julianne, next time whenever you're allowed to be live in the
Because we
studio.
have to see to believe.
I want to see it, feel it, touch it, hold it. I need to.
Okay. All right. Very good. When we come back, it's celebrity birthdays. Let's have a party, Jeremy. Where's my cupcake?
No cupcakes. I'm still intrigued by this. I can't get my head around it.